Okay, here it is. Final review of Halloween Horror Month 2020. This is it. This is the end. And I wanted to do a movie. I wanted to do a movie. A movie with the word last in it. So obviously you could do The Last Exorcism, which I can't watch because I don't have any access to. Or you could do The Last House on the Left, which would be the remake. And I could have done. It was the first obvious choice. But there's this movie on Vudu that's for free. I've been wanting to give a watch for some time. It's called Last Shift. It stars Juliana Harkavy from Arrow and is about a woman who is taking her first shift as a police officer, and it's the last shift at a police station that's closing down. And then stuff starts to happen. So, let's talk about it. Alright, I watched this movie. Knowing next to nothing about it. I knew some things. I knew who was in it. I knew I had to deal with some sort of demonic spirit thing. But I thought it was a found footage film when I went in and I started watching. I'm like, this isn't found footage. Which, it's not. It's a psychological horror film in it. I think the psychological horror is done very well. So, she's, like I said, it's her first shift as a police officer, but it's the last shift at this police station because they're shutting it down and moving everything to a new police station. They've even moved all the emergency calls are being forwarded to the new station. Everything's going there, which begs to question why they need someone to guard this place if it's just going to be shut down. Well, she's got to be there. The only thing I can think of is she's got to be there for when the hazmat team shows up. But she's got to wait till 4 o'clock in the fucking morning before they show up. First of all, who the hell is doing hazmat work at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning? That baffles me. It just seems like, we gotta set them to come in early in the morning so we can have her go through all this shit. There's a lot of that. There's quite a bit of that in this film where, this has to happen here. This has to happen there. A lot of circumstances. A lot of how it's almost ironic and almost too ironic at some points. So, throughout exposition, throughout the film, we know that there was an incident at this police station a year earlier with something called the Payman family. And yes, Payman is in Hereditary, which I didn't review yet because I'm still not ready to rewatch that. I've watched Midsommar twice since I bought it, but I haven't even watched... I watched Hereditary once since I bought it. That's how much I'm not ready to re-review that movie or rewatch that movie. Anyway, Payman. The Payman family. Something happened, and we find out later her father was involved, and he died as a result of this. Now, that's where the irony comes in. Like, how much do you have to move around? This is the last shift at this police station, and randomly, out of nowhere, the police officer assigned to this is the daughter of the person you killed. So this cult, or even the spirits, get to have a shot at killing this guy's daughter, the guy that stopped them. Yeah, they killed him in the end, but still, he was part of the reason why they stopped him, why they were stopped, and yet, she's right there. That's almost too ironic. It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride when you already paid. Who would have thought it figure? Okay. Now you know I'm off key. Anyway, yeah, it's just too ironic. too much circumstance that it would happen like that. To me anyway. And she starts seeing things. Another big problem with this is you could tell this was really very cheaply made. There's good kind of effects and makeup effects and stuff. That's good. But I think that's where most of the money went into. But it is shot in one location. She never leaves the building. And it feels like they had to give reasons for her not to leave the building. Much like a found footage film has to give a reason for them to keep filming. That's what they had to do here. And at first, the first reason they give, there's 3 different things that they do to make sure she doesn't leave this building. One is that she's trying to build her confidence and trying to stick with it. She doesn't want to abandon this. She wants to keep going. She wants to prove she's a strong, independent woman and keep going. That's what she wants to do. And then throw that out the window. And all of a sudden now she's getting phone calls from her dead dad's ghost telling her she has to keep going. Okay, daddy's telling you to keep going. No, throw that out the window. Now it's just magically stopping her leaving. She can't open the door, and then she tries to shoot the glass. Shoot the glass. She tries to shoot the glass, and magically the bullets don't do anything. Pick something. Go with it. I think you could only you only needed 2 different ways to go here. Okay? Her confidence. Because this whole thing seems to me like it's about breaking her, right? Getting her to a breaking point. By the end of this film, she has gotten there. We'll get to that. But it seems about breaking her, right? So what if you take out the ghost daddy phone calls? Take that out. You just go from her being strong, independent, wanting to keep this going, and then at one point she finally breaks and says, I need to get out of here. So she tries to leave, but she can't because it's all magicked up. That's when she realized she is screwed. Now, no matter what she does, she's tried to stick around. She wants to leave. She can't leave. Now she's forced to go through this and see it through to the end. That's how it works. You know, that would work better, I mean. And we got cult members. Now, there are several people we see throughout here that show up. Juliana Harkavy is by herself most of the time, but there are certain things. Like I said, you can tell this is done very cheap because you think you have this one person, she needs to talk to someone. They have her talk on the phone a bajillion times in this film. And it's overdone. Like she's either calling someone or someone's calling her. Like that thing. It's ridiculous how many times that happens. And there are visitors, and it's hard to figure out who's real, who's not. I've kind of narrowed it down. So if we see them go in through the front door or leave through the front door, leave through the door, go in the door, that sort of thing, they're real. So by that count, Sergeant Cohen, the officer in charge, the homeless guy that she sees, and anyone outside the building too. Marigold, who we see outside the building smoking a cigarette. She never enters the building, but she's outside the building. The dispatcher she talks to. Those people are real. And of course, the hazmat team that shows up at the end. We'll get to that. Those are real. And possibly one member of the cult who shoots herself in the head. She could be real. We don't know. At the end, though, cult members start to swarm her, and she starts shooting them. And then it's revealed they're actually the hazmat team, and she gets shot, right? Now, when she goes in, she meets Sergeant Cohen, and from the beginning, he looks sketchy, and they do that on purpose. Just so at the end, you question something until they reveal it to you. It's to make you question him. Because she's shooting these cult people. And then she gets shot. It's revealed that it's Cohen. And you think, oh shit, he's a part of it. He's a member of the cult. And then the camera flashes over to the person she shot. And it's a hazmat guy. And it's revealed that she had her psychotic break. She's lost it. And it's affecting her. Now, is this real? Is what she's seen before this real and they fucked with her to get her to lose her mind so she would die and join them? Or was it all in her fucking head and she's just dead now? Because as we know, her father was involved, so that could have led to a psychotic break. Or is it real? The movie almost goes out of its way to not answer these questions. My opinion, I think it already happened. I think, the only problem is Marigold. She's kind of out of nowhere. She gives this exposition dump, and then we just kind of move on. But she knows so much. We know so little about her. This film is a very confusing film, but I think it's enjoyable. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for The Last Shift. So what are your thoughts on Last Shift? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And that brings us to the end of Halloween Havoc. Halloween Havoc. It's not a review of Halloween Horror Month. This is not WCW. Halloween Horror Month. Now I gotta take this stuff down. And now we trudge a new path. A new month has started. New things happening. But I think before we move on to new things, we need to go back to the beginning. But first, I pay tribute to a legend.